Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Carlos. Welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on another. It feels like it rains every darn day here. 82-degree Wednesday night, but we are inside the comfort of the air conditioned in the broadcast booth, and you're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. Fox Sports 940 Miami. We're bringing you game 146 of 162. We've got 17 games left, and Marlins manager Clayton McCullough is looking for answers on how the heck he can slow down this red-hot Nationals team that has won 7 of their last 8 games. Their bats have come to life. They've scored 52 runs in this 8-game stretch with 14 long balls. Miami will look to slow them down with their young ace, looking to find his footing after 2 frustrating outings away from the 305. It's game 3 of this 4-game set between the now 60-84 Washington Nationals and your 66-79 Miami Marlins. Jake Irvin, 28-year-old right-hander, will make his 30th start of the season, and his first against the Miami Marlins. He will go opposite Yuri Perez, 22-year-old right-hander, who has watched his ERA go from 3.44 on August 24th to 4.66. He looks to get back on track today for the Marlins, and we will get going at 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Wednesday night with Jack McMullen and Rod Allen. I'm Steven Strom. We got a fabulous show for you ahead. We will go the distance, and we thank you for your participation again on this Wednesday night. We'll first hear from Kyle Stowers, who unfortunately experienced a setback. We'll get Clayton McCullough on Yuri Perez and how he has to bounce back today. We'll get you at the count with the 2 matchups on the mound, Irvin and Perez. Jack and Rob will break down some storylines, our X-Poll question today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So yesterday we heard from Kyle Stowers. He told the media following the game that he hurt himself in his first AB of Friday's rehab game with AAA Jacksonville when he fouled off a changeup low and away. He felt pretty sore all over on Saturday, which is why he was scratched from the game the next day. Here was Stowers on when it happened and reflecting on his 2025.
First at bat back, just took a weird swing on a changeup blown away and noticed a little stretch. Didn't really think too much of it, just because kind of coming back from, when you're coming back from an injury, just kind of part of the process sometimes getting the rest of the body going. And so next day, I didn't anticipate, getting, very nervous and a lot of adrenaline for their first rehab game. So I was pretty sore all over. And that's kind of what, led to that initial scratch. And then as, the rest of my body began to calm down, I just noticed some tightness in my rib area and was a little bit in disbelief, to be honest with you. And that was kind of when we, that Sunday, just ultimately decided to get things looked at a little more.
You mentioned kind of disbelief. What were the emotions for you as you go through something like this? Because I can't imagine, with the type of season you had, the competitive nature that you have, that you were too pleased with this feeling.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, as I've been able to have a couple of days to process it before talking to you guys, to me it's another opportunity to lean on God. Even though the last month plus has not gone how I would have anticipated it to go, sometimes, how we think things should go. I don't know the bigger picture yet. Still trying to just lean into whatever God has and trust in His plan for my life, and be grateful for just another opportunity to grow and become more of the person I'm meant to be. I think I can still do that through this process. It's but if I'm being honest with you, it was really hard. I care a lot, and so not what I wanted to happen. Definitely had some emotional conversations with my wife, my mom, and my agent that were very emotional for me. But that being said, I still have so much to be grateful for. I don't know, I guess you guys are going to ask, about what the rest of the season looks like. I don't know. It's just kind of a day-to-day thing right now. It's a little bit different than the last one. This one's more of like the intercostal, which is kind of like in your rib area. So it's a new experience for me. So I don't know what it entails for the rest of the year. All I can do is just, first off, got to get the symptoms down and take it day by day, and then go from there. So we'll see.
I guess just, depending what happens, obviously, just how would you recap this season for you, the way you kind of exploded on and made an all-star team, and just the performances you've had?
Yeah, I guess I think I've said to you guys a couple times, if you would have told me I would have done the things that I've done this year, it completely surpassed any expectations I had going into the year. I just, my genuine only goal was to be on the roster the whole year this year. So, all-star game, home runs, all that stuff, was not on my radar. It wasn't something I tried to quantify. But that being said, when I had the first injury, it was, kind of like, this wasn't supposed to be this type of year where we were dealing with that. It was all supposed to be a lot of good. So actually, I don't really want to quite put a full recap on the year yet, because I don't know what the next few weeks look like. But I'm, very grateful for what's happened thus far, and yeah.
Kyle Stowers is what is right with certain athletes in sports. You heard it in his voice, a guy that, again, didn't know if he was going to make the team coming into spring training. He had 41 ABs. He struck out 20 times. He struck out half the time in spring training. And in 2024 with the big league club, when he was traded over from Baltimore, he struck out 61 times. He hit 186. Baseball is a funny game, and it's really nice, and it's honestly a breath of fresh air to see good things happen to good people. And Kyle Stowers is an unbelievable person, and is going to be part of this franchise for a very long time. And you dream about having someone you could build around like Stowers on and off the field, and he has put together a heck of a year. 288 on the batting average, a 912 OPS, 25 home runs, and he gave us memories here in 2025 that I will never forget. The walk-off on opening day, the Mason Miller Grand Slam. He went to an all-star game, player of the month. Congratulations, Kyle Stowers. He didn't officially say he's done in 2025, but he gave us a heck and an entertaining year. And again, we wish the best for Kyle Stowers. We shall see what it looks like ahead. But again, with 17 games left, it doesn't look like Kyle Stowers will come back. But again, you never know. We'll break. We'll get you what needs to change with Yuri Perez. He's on an extra day, actually 2 days of rest. He's looking to bounce back. The last two for him, 4 2/3 combined against the Mets and the Nats. 12 earned runs, 4 home runs. What is key? We'll hear from Clayton McCullough next. We're playing baseball at 640 on the Marlins Radio Network.
Righty hitting catcher. He turns on a ball, sends it out to center field and deep. Bader is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Brian Navarreto. It's his first major league homer and his first major league RBI. It starts to cut into it, but welcome back to the show. This guy had 5 plate appearances in the big leagues. They all came in the COVID season in 2020, and he reintroduces himself in style. Wagaman drills out to left and deep. Marsh is back. That will slam off the wall. Augustine comes in to score. Hernandez wheels around. He goes first to third. And Wagatak has an RBI double to get the Marlins on the board. It's 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Sanoja. That one smothered into the ground. And the shortstop Sosa charges. He fires on the run. It kicks off the facing of the dugout. And a run will come in to score. That one bounced right in front of the plate and directly over the top of the pitcher's mound. And that infield single plates Hernandez from third base. It's an RBI knock for Javi. It's 4-2 Phillies in the bottom of the fourth. Marcy's 10th stolen base in 12 attempts. Augustine's 12th in 15 attempts. And Otto drills a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone. Onto the concourse. Otto Lopez drills a baseball, and it's a 3-run shot. Number 13 on the year for Lopez, and they open scoring quickly. 3-0 Fish, bottom 1. Payoff pitch. Otto hits well, out to left center field again. Marsh is back. He's looking up, and it's gone.
Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Miccosukee Casino and Resort online at miccosukee.com.
All right, I've had enough of the Washington Nationals. And tonight's the night Yuri Perez puts this team back on the road. Steven Traum here, Jack McMullen, Rod Allen. Yes, it's been a struggle for Yuri Perez the last two, something we haven't seen. I mean, Yuri Perez is a unicorn, 22-year-old right-hander, bursted onto the scene in 2023, was a big part of why the Marlins were able to get to the postseason. Had Tommy John last year and came back. Struggled a little bit, but not from an earned runs perspective. He figured it out in the middle of the year and now has faced some trouble. Here was Clayton McCullough on what he wants to see Yuri do different here tonight against the Nats.
One is Yuri getting back. Like, you're a really good pitcher, Yuri. And I think he just, has had a couple, rough ones in a row. And it's more, the biggest part is going to be his ability to, command the baseball. And I think he's just got himself into some bad counts. And in the last few starts, he's put himself in some spots where he was forced to come in parts of the plate where, you have a chance to get burned. And, hey, look, if that happens 0-0, we have no problem with that. Like, go attack people, get into the count, and get hitters engaged in the at-bat. And I think the last couple, he's just been behind too much. He hasn't been able to land enough secondaries. He hasn't been able enough, to then, utilize his entire mix, and it's kind of been naked to a one-pitch pitcher in some ways. And so today, he just gets out there and from pitch one is just aggressively attacking the strike zone.
McCullough, is it more what Yuri's not doing or what opponents are doing?
I think it's as much that what Yuri had. What he hasn't done when he was doing well, and I think when he was going well, you just felt like it was, outside of some of that with the foul balls kind of mounted up, but he just was in, more control of and dictating the at bat. Where it felt like for me the last few, he just hasn't, and when he's gone in the zone, they've been in bad places, and he's been in bad counts where now guys can sell out for certain pitches, and his secondary stuff just hasn't threatened the zone enough to get hitters, really worried about it. So I look at this more about Yuri and his ability to strike with multiple pitches and grab count leverage in this one to be the big key.
All right, so Yuri Perez is on 2 extra days of rest. He started last Wednesday in D.C. Clayton, what can that do for someone like Yuri?
Like as much, you look back at the last year and a half, 2 years for Yuri. This guy hasn't taken a breath in almost 2 years. You think about, you have surgery, the amount of bandwidth and energy you spend rehabbing, and then you getting yourself back into competition. So he's been on go now for a very long time, and and that's by no means trying to make an excuse for how the last few games are going, but I think that's the reality of a young player that's had to be on go for a very long time. So hopefully these couple of days after a few rough ones, just let him step back and spend some time working with Daniel and Alone and just getting back to what's going to give him the best chance to be successful, clear his head a little bit, and now hopefully be able to go out and execute.
Bites right there from Marlins manager Clayton McCullough. And yeah, I'm looking at the mix. The last two for Yuri, and we've talked about it, the Washington start and the New York Mets start. The mix is identical, okay? Against Washington, he threw 76 pitches. Fastball, 38 times. Slider, 17. Changeup, 8. Curveball, 7. Sweeper, 6. Look at the Mets start. It's the same exact usage. Fastball leads the way, 24 times. Slider, 8. Changeup 3, curveball 2, sweeper 2. The fastball is unbelievable. We've talked about it. It's one of the best pitches in baseball. The thing with this level is they've got some film. They're going to try to take away that four-seamer, get ahead of the count, and that's what happened. And you heard Clayton McCullough. He has to dictate the AB. He's got to gain count leverage. Yeah, Clayton McCullough says that about every pitcher, but I think right now more than ever when you're struggling, you've got to win the chase to 2 strikes. So we'll see if Yuri Perez has a different sequence, at least for this start against the Nationals. It's been identical the last 2 where he struggled. We will get you out of the count next. Jake Irvin, he'll go opposite Perez. Again, we're playing baseball at 6:40. Marlins on Deck continues. Don't move a muscle on the Marlins Radio Network.
Righty hitting catcher. He turns on a ball, sends it out to center field and deep. Bader is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Brian Navarreto. It's his first major league homer and his first major league RBI. It starts to cut into it, but welcome back to the show. This guy had 5 plate appearances in the big leagues. They all came in the COVID season in 2020, and he reintroduces himself in style. 1. Wagaman drills out to left and deep. Marsh is back. That will slam off the wall. Augustine comes in to score. Hernandez wheels around. He goes first to third. And Wagatak has an RBI double to get the Marlins on the board. It's 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Sanoja. That one smothered into the ground. And the shortstop Sosa charges. He fires on the run. It kicks off the facing of the dugout. And a run will come in to score. That one bounced right in front of the plate and directly over the top of the pitcher's mound. And that infield single plates Hernandez from third base. It's an RBI knock for Javi. It's 4-2 Phillies in the bottom of the fourth. Marcy's 10th stolen base in 12 attempts. Augustine's 12th in 15 attempts. And Otto drills a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone onto the concourse. Otto Lopez drills a baseball, and it's a 3-run shot. Number 13 on the year for Lopez, and they open scoring quickly. 3-0 Fish, bottom one. Payoff pitch. Otto hits well out to left center field again. Marsh is back. He's looking up, and it's gone.
Not required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Clayton McCullough here, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Yuri Perez looks to get the Marlins back on track here tonight. They've dropped the first two to the Washington Nationals. Steven Strom here. Welcome in on a Wednesday night from Lone Depot Park. Rod Allen, Jack McMullen, they'll join me in the next segment. I do want to share a nugget with you guys. Connor Norby and Dane Myers are headed to AAA Jacksonville. They'll begin a rehab assignment tomorrow. Graham Pauley will play tonight in Jacksonville. And good news on Valente Belloso, who left last night's game with right tricep tightness. He should be fine to pitch again in the next couple of days. Let's get you out of the count. We'll start here with Jake Urban, 28-year-old right-hander, who will make his 30th start of the season. He's 8-11 with a 5.71 ERA, 157 and 2/3 innings pitched, 104 punch-outs to 57 walks. He did take the loss on Friday in Chicago against the Cubbies, allowed 7 runs on 5 hits, walked 4 over 3 1/3. Urban was tagged for 5 runs in the first inning, and he's now allowed multiple home runs in 4 of his past 6 starts. Jake is also winless over his last 7 outings, and in those 7 starts, he's posted a 9.87 ERA over 31 innings, 10 home runs. Urban will feature a 4-seamer, a curveball, a sinker, a changeup, a slider, and a cutter. And, folks, nothing is overbearing. A 92-mile-per-hour 4-seamer, that's what it'll top off at. So, again, Urban will make his first start against the Marlins this season. Yuri Perez, on 2 extra days of rest, will make his 17th start of the season, 6-5, a 4.66 ERA over 75 1/3 innings pitch. Again, Yuri's ERA after that Toronto start where he threw 6 innings of 2-run ball sat at 3.44. Over his last 2 starts, that 3.44 ERA has ballooned to a 4.66 ERA. The last 2 against the Mets and Queens and against the Nats in D.C., 4 2/3 combined, 12 earned runs, 4 long balls. And in 2 starts this year against Washington, he's thrown 8 combined innings with a 9 ERA over 2 starts. You smell that? It's time for a bounce back. I'm sniffing it. Home for Yuri, much better. A 2.25 ERA, away from Lone Depot Park, a 6.44 ERA. We heard from Clayton McCullough on what's key to getting him to bounce back. All the ingredients are there for Yuri to have a good start and also to get the Marlins out of this little bit of a funk that they have pretty much put themselves in the last couple of weeks. We will break. We'll get Rod Allen on. We'll get Jack McMullen on. We got a plethora of topics to talk about. Plus, we got Steve's Guarantee, which all of a sudden is red hot. Otto Lopez, cha-ching. Joey Weimer, cha-ching. Tonight, we'll see. We'll break. We're back in 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
Marcy's 10th stolen base in 12 attempts. Augustine's 12th in 15 attempts. And Otto drills a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone onto the concourse. Otto Lopez drills a baseball, and it's a 3-run shot. Number 13 on the year for Lopez, and they open scoring quickly. 3-0 Fish, bottom one. Signed and came over last year. 2-2. That one lined up the gut on one hop. That's through and in for a base hit. Another run going to come in and score. Hernandez coming home to throw up the third base line. It gets back to the backstop. Johnston will push second to third, and Acosta follows him to second. It's an RBI knock for Maximo, and a throwing error will push the other two up 90 feet. It's 4-0. You got runners at second and third with two men gone in the bottom.
What they needed to do when they got a runner on third, and that was get him in.
First pitch to Heriberto Hernandez, a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Runner comes in to score. Hicks wheels around, goes first to third. And that's an RBI knock for Burt to run this game even. Edwards the batter, Marcy on deck. And with one away, the 1-2. Having a ground ball that's up the gut and through for a base hit. They're going to send Mesa, who will score from second base. And Xavier Edwards, that has to feel good. An RBI knock. He makes it 8-2 Nats in the bottom of the fifth. 0-1. That one drilled high in the air. Right field and deep. That is gone. Second deck for the first major league home run for Victor Mesa Jr.
It's for $49.99 when you switch at your nearest Boost mobile store. That's a brand spanking new iPhone 16e for the incredible price of $49.99. Plus, you're getting all the latest Apple Intelligence features too, like Cleanup, which removes distractions from photos with just a tap. Visit your nearest Boost mobile store for full offer details. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later. Restrictions apply.
Folks, we are, about 18 minutes away from first pitch. Steven Strom, Rod Allen, Jack McMullen on a Wednesday night from Lone Depot Park. Before we get into the game, I did want to mention we got some good news. Valente Belloso, who left last night's game with right tricep tightness. Clayton McCullough did say today he should be fine to pitch again in the next couple of days. Connor Norby, Dane Myers, they will head to AAA Jacksonville. They will play in a rehab game tomorrow, Grand Pauley tonight. It has been a wild month. It has felt like with the injuries. And I guess I do want to start with this because both of you guys listened in on the Kyle Stowers media availability last night. Re-injured, or I guess didn't re-injure, injured his other side, his right side. We discussed this, but I guess we'll start with Rod and then Jack can take it. Just your reaction to listening, and you could hear it, the emotion from Kyle Stowers, Rod.
What I took from it is he talked about the fact that he talked to his agent. He also talked to his wife. He talked to his mom and dad. And I'm sure they all came to a conclusion of what's best for Kyle. We don't know exactly what that is as of yet, whether he'll play again or not. But I guarantee you the decision that they do make will be best for him. I don't know if many people know this, but his agent, her name is Lonnie. She is the wife of Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart, of course, the pitcher in the big leagues for a long, long time. Dave used to have and be an agent, but before he went back into professional baseball as a general manager for the Diamondbacks. So then he gave that practice to his wife. So just a little nugget there on Mr. Stowers.
Very good. Jack?
Yeah, I met Lonnie real quick at All-Star, and she was great. And she only has a couple of big league ball players, but her and Kyle relationship, it is just phenomenal. It's a deeper relationship and a more powerful relationship than you typically see with a client-agent dynamic, but, really cool stuff. And having that person as one of your confidants in terms of being a baseball player and an all-star is really important, right? Because you got to decide what's best for Kyle Stowers. And is it, hey, push it, get back on the field, end it on a high note? Or is it, you know what? You had a heck of a career. You had a heck of a year this year. Let's shut it down. Let's move forward. Sight set on 2026. So we'll find out in a matter of moments, I'm sure, in a matter of a couple of days, I'm sure. But honestly, it was just heavy stuff from Stowers. That was the thing that jumped out to me. He doesn't want to be in this position. He wants to be hitting third or hitting second and playing right field today. One
more thing on Kyle Stowers, and I've said this about many of our guys that are injured, that the one thing that you want to do when the season ends is you want to be healthy. So when you go into the offseason, you're not rehabbing. But in his case, it's okay if he's not 100% because what he showed this year, beyond a shadow of a doubt, we know he's going to be in our outfield next year, whereas some of the other guys that are injured, they really want to come back because they want to finish on a good note to give this staff a really nice taste in their mouth for the offseason.
And if you did miss that media availability, we'll play a bite in-game. We also posted it on our X/Twitter at Marlins Radio. Rod, I'm going to need you to further amplify this point for me.
Yep.
The Marlins need a good start, and Yuri needs to get these guys back on track.
He's the guy. I mean, he really is the guy. I mean, I think Yuri kind of got caught in reading some of the numbers. Every now and then he'll throw a pitch. He'll look up at the scoreboard to see what the spin rate is. I don't want to see that. I want to see Yuri get ahead of these Nationals. These Nationals are a good team. As far as batting average is concerned, they're doing a very good job right now. But Yuri, one of the best right-handed pitchers in baseball. He has one of the best fastballs in baseball, but in his last couple of outings, he's fallen behind way too much. And what he's figured out is these guys in the big leagues, they can hit my fastball when that was coming. So he's got to get back to some breaking stuff, some change up. I expect him to have much more variety of mixture in his pitches today. Not so fastball happy. And if he's able to do that and throw some strikes, we get 6 innings here today out of Yuri Perez.
He will go opposite Jake Urban. And, Jack, I asked you about Mitchell Parker, and I got to stop because Cade Cavalier came in here with a 4.8 ERA. Mitchell Parker yesterday with a 5.8 ERA. Urban with a 5.7. So I'm not going to make this about the Nationals pitchers. But where have these games went south for the Marlins against the Nationals? What's the root of the problem here?
Honestly, I think it's the gopher ball, and I want to tip my cap to Washington because it takes two to tango on that front, right? I mean, pitchers, you can serve up home run balls, right? We saw that happen with Adam Major a couple of times, so we've seen that happen several times in Washington as well. Yuri Perez was guilty of doing that in Washington a couple of times. But it takes Washington hitting the ball out of the ballpark when it is a home run type of pitch. Josh Bell has done that. Dalen Lyle has done that. James Wood has done that. And C.J. Abrams is spraying the ball around the ballpark right now. Dylan Cruz has done that as well. It takes them hitting the ball pretty darn well to push them to this type of effort. And what I saw over the last 8 games, number one, they're 7-1 in this month over the last 8 games. And they're scoring about 6 runs per game in this. So, you know, it's not just Marlins pitching. You got to credit Washington's offense a little bit. I guess it stemmed from leaving pitches over the heart of the plate, whether it's a fastball or a secondary, but a lot of credit should be going to the Washington Nationals bats right now.
One other thing here, Steven, what has aided guys like Cavalli, what has aided Parker and those guys having good starts despite having very lofty earned run average is the fact that their ball clubs have gotten off to really good leads. And when you get off to a lead, these guys start to relax. They start to use pitches. They're not pitching in stress. And because of that, both guys have gone out and had a decent game.
Fast starts for the Marlins, it's going to be imperative. And for Miami, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games, and we can discuss for 3 hours. But if your starters don't put together good starts, you don't got a chance. The Marlins starters have posted an 8 ERA in 7 of these last 8 games. You're not going to win a lot of games with that ERA. Yuri looking to turn it around. Jack and Rod, excellent stuff per usual. They'll be on in 13 minutes, probably less than that. But we'll break. Expo question. Oh, Steve's guarantee. You think? I got 2 right, so there's going to be a montage coming up next.
2 in a row.
We're back in 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
Marcy's 10th stolen base in 12 attempts. Augustine's 12th in 15 attempts. And Otto drills a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone. Onto the concourse. Otto Lopez drills a baseball, and it's a 3-run shot. Number 13 on the year for Lopez, and they open scoring quickly. 3-0 Fish, bottom 1. Signed and came over last year. 2-2. That one lined up the gut on one hop. That's through and in for a base hit. Another run going to come in and score. Hernandez coming home to throw up the third base line. It gets back to the backstop. Johnston will push second to third, and Acosta follows him to second. It's an RBI knock for Maximo. And a throwing error will push the other 2 up 90 feet. It's 4-0. You got runners at second and third with 2 men gone in the bottom.
What they needed to do when they got a runner on third, and that was get him in.
First pitch to Heriberto Hernandez, a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Runner comes in to score. Hicks wheels around, goes first to third. And that's an RBI knock for Burt to run this game even. Edwards the batter, Marcy on deck. And with 1 away, the 1-2. That one a ground ball that's up the gut and through for a base hit. They're going to send Mesa, who will score from second base, and Xavier Edwards. That has to feel good. An RBI knock. He makes it 8-2 Nats in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1. That one drilled high in the air. Right field and deep. That is gone. Second deck for the first major league home run for Victor Mesa Jr.
I'm just glad they have my local team live for it's root for the Marlins on FanDuel Sports Network. Marlins games, announcers, and more Marlins games. Did I mention they have the Marlins? Stream now.
Well, thanks again for hanging out with us, folks. Fox Sports 940 Miami. This is Marlins on deck. Carlos back in the studio, hitting the 1s and 2s. Steven Strom here, host of the program. Jack McMullen, Rod Allen. They have your call in about 10 minutes. We had a excellent show today. We heard from Kyle Stowers. Again, you can make sure to check that out. He spoke yesterday after suffering a setback. He hurt his right side. It was originally his left oblique. We do have a couple of guys headed to AAA Jacksonville. Connor Norby, Dane Myers, they will begin a rehab assignment tomorrow. Graham Pauly will play tonight. And Valente Belloso, after leaving yesterday's game with right tricep tightness, should be fine to pitch in the next couple of days. Let's get to our X-Poll question, though, today at Marlins Radio. Aaron Lenhart will manage in the Arizona Fall League this offseason. What current Marlins coach managed the 2024 Salt River Rafters in the AFL last year? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. Before I get to Steve's guarantees, let's dial this one up. Here's the last two in the last 5 days from your boy. Steve's guarantee, listen up to this, Jack McMullen. Otto Lopez, long ball.
In 15 attempts, and Otto drills a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone. Onto the concourse.
For Steve's guarantees.
How about Joey Weimer? He hit a home run against Mitchell Parker on Wednesday. I don't know what the swing is. I don't know if it's consistent enough to be able to hit at this level, but I like him to collect an extra base hit.
There's Vikings last night for a little bit. 2-2. That one hammered out to left. Weimer got Parker again.
Come on, and I'm wearing actually the same. I'm not going to shout out the company or the store, but I'm wearing the same thing. It's raining, so hold with me. All right, Carlos, let's get to tonight's Steve's guarantee.
Batter up.
Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's guarantees.
Steve's guarantees, they're hot. Xavier Edwards records a multiple hit game today. The last time X recorded and collected 2 hits was on August 31st against the Mets. X has 1 multi-hit game in the last 21 games. I like him to have 2 today. Jake Urban, we mentioned the ERA. We mentioned the struggles. X, I like him to have 2 hits tonight. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Rod Allen, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball, it is next on the Marlins Radio.